Hi, I'm Katie Stope. I'm the local history librarian at Appleton Public Library, and today I'm going to show you a brief overview of how to use our library's Platbook Index. If you have Outagamie County, Wisconsin ancestors, you're definitely going to want to check out this index because it'll cut down on the amount of time it will take you to find your ancestor in our plat books. Our Platbook Index is a very unique Appleton Public Library created database that was created by librarians, library staff, and volunteers who created a name index to 4 plat books for Outagamie County, Wisconsin. That then makes it so that you can do a keyword search by the name of your ancestor to locate where they owned land, how much they own land, and what section and what page number in that plat book they will be found in. The years that are included in the index include 1889, 1917, circa 1927 to 1928, and 1942. Just a note about the 1927-1928 book, that book did not have an exact date on it, so this is just a guess. Be sure to check back on the index for additional updates to come soon. We hope to be adding acreage for each ancestor's entry in the near future, and hopefully we'll be adding additional books as well. To use the Platbook index, you're going to go to apl.org/platbook, or I'll show you in just a minute how to navigate to the site directly from our homepage, apl.org. The best part is you don't even need a library card in order to access the index or to access the digitized images of these plat books. Using the index, you can do a keyword search to find the exact year, plat, section, and page number where your ancestor owned land in Outagamie County during these years. The index will then directly link you to the digitized plat books, which are housed on the University of Wisconsin Digital Collections website. From there, you can even download an actual image of the plat book to be able to save it for your personal use. I recommend downloading the largest option available to give you the best quality image. And I'll show you how to do this in just a minute. A few notes about the Platbook Index. First, your ancestor may appear more than once, especially if they owned multiple sections of land during a given year or within several years that are included in our index. Each person will have an entry for every piece of land that they owned. Entries are going to be recorded in the index exactly as they appear on the plat map. Of course, since librarians, library staff, and volunteers are the one reading the plat books, unfortunately these maps sometimes are difficult to read, so an entry may be incomplete or incorrect, and if a name could not be deciphered, no entry was made. Therefore, I also recommend that you still browse the digitized images of these plat books if you believe your ancestor should be found in them. Be aware there are also misspellings of names, and many people were listed by initials, so sometimes doing a full name keyword search might not return any results. Therefore, I recommend trying to search with just a surname first and seeing what results you get. We also have added a begins with field for surnames and for first names to help you try to find those ancestors who may be listed by initials or who may have had their surname or first name misspelled. Also be aware that if you're using an incognito or private browsing window, the site's not going to work correctly. Instead of returning your regular search results, if you're using an incognito or private browsing window, it's going to return the entire database, which is not something you want to do. Also, if your browser is blocking cookies, you may have an issue with the search working correctly. So be sure to check out further details on our Platbook Index site for information on how to allow cookies for the page if you have difficulties with returning relevant search results. Now I'm going to do a live demonstration of how to use our Platbook Index and show you how it works. To begin, we're going to go to our website, apl.org. You can either type in apl.org/platbook to get directly to the index, or start from our homepage at apl.org. If you're starting from our homepage, you'll see the area where it says eLibrary, which is a listing of all of our electronic databases. If you hover over eLibrary, one of the options is APL Created. That's what you're going to want to click on to return the databases that have been created by library staff. You'll see we have several databases in here, including the Platbook Index. So once you see Platbook Index, that's where you're going to click to get into the actual index. From here, you can now see the search bars with last name, last name begins with, first name begins with. So you can fill out those results and click search. There's also links down here to get into the digitized versions of each of the books if you just wanted to browse through any of the books. And there's also a note, of course, about names and how they were indexed in the index. Now I'm going to show you how to do an actual search. So I'm going to search for my ancestor, Nathan Thompson, who I know owned land in Outagamie County. So in the last name field, I'm going to start typing Thompson. And you can see as I start to type, I have results showing up. So this is kind of giving you a preview of what the results will look like in the actual index. If you see a result in here, you're going to want to click on it because you know it's going to be linked to the right spelling of a name. Then in the first name field, I'm going to type in Nathan, which is the name of my ancestor. But as you can see, I don't see a result for Nathan. So that means there's actually not a result for this person. There's a result for somebody by the name of Nathaniel. But just to show you what the search looks like, I'm going to click out of it and not select Nathaniel and click search. So you can see, as I mentioned, there's going to be no search results for that person because there wasn't an option for his name when I typed in the first name field. So what I want to do then is I want to click search again and go back to the search. I'm going to still select Thompson, but then I'm going to delete that first name field. And since I didn't see Nathan in there, I'm going to think maybe my ancestor was one of those people that were named by their first initial instead. So I'm going to use this first name begins with field and type in an N and see if I get any relevant results for my ancestor. Now I'm going to click search and you can see the option that came up was one for an N.N. Thompson in Bovina in 1889. And you can see this result gives you what plat or what area of the county they lived in, the range, the township, what page within that plat book, what section in that area, and then what book. There's also a spot for acres, which we'll be adding soon. From here, you can see the result and then click on the link to be brought into that actual image. I believe this is my ancestor, even though it doesn't say Nathan, because I know from my research, my ancestor's name was Nathan Norton Thompson, and that he lived in Bovina around this time period. So now I'm going to click on the link here to be brought into the actual book, or again, you could click in any of these top links or any of these bottom links to be brought into the actual book. Now it's going to bring up the actual Platbook on the University of Wisconsin Digital Collections site. So you can see I'm in the 1889 Platbook. To get into the actual images and to be able to pull up the exact page and section where my ancestor is, I'm going to click on Full View. Now you can see we're in the actual Platbook for 1889, and now I can use the functions within the site in order to browse the book or to go exactly to that page that I'm looking for. So to go to page 29, I'm going to find the page drop-down menu right here. And you can see there's page numbers listed. Some of them are single page numbers and some of them are double. Just goes based on how the pages were scanned in. So always be sure when you're looking for that exact number from the index that you're looking at the second number here. So I'm looking for page 29, which is page 23 in this digitized book version. I'm going to click on that, and now you can see it brings me into page 28 and 29. I could also use these back and forth buttons. This button will bring me all the way to the front of the book. This button will bring me all the way to the back, or this goes page by page. So going back to page 29 where my ancestor is, I want to obviously look closer at it to be able to look at where my ancestor was in this area. To do that, I'm going to use this top button with the magnifying glass with the plus on it that will bring up this specific image. Now I can use the plus buttons up here to zoom in or zoom out as I need to. And then I can click around and look around for section 35 where his land is. So when you're looking for a section, you can see there's different numbers in here for each section. Each section is a big square in this area. So this is section 15, this is section 16, etc., etc. So I'm looking around for page or section 35. So that's going to be towards the bottom in this plat. And so I can see it right here. This is section 35 down here, this big square. And here is my ancestor, N. Thompson, with the number 40. So that indicates that he is owning 40 acres of land in this section of the county. I can also now see other people that he lives around and even see other ancestors of mine who I know are his neighbors and who also owned land right near him. So now at this point, you probably want to download a copy of this page. So in order to do that, you're going to click out of it with the X up here in the upper right corner. Now we're back in the viewer mode. The option right underneath where you clicked to get into the image is the download button. So it's this arrow button with a line underneath. So if you click on it, it's going to give you 3 different options: large, medium, or small. Again, I recommend clicking large because that's going to be the highest resolution of the photos that you can download and the best image quality possible. So now that has been downloaded to my computer and I'm all set to go to save it and continue browsing in the book to find my next ancestor, or going back to the Platbook index to click search again and search for my next ancestor. I hope that was a helpful overview for you. If you have any questions while you're using the database or any of our other genealogy or local history databases, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is on the screen, kstilp@apl.org, or you can give us a call at our reference desk number, 920-832-6173. Happy researching!